Hello and welcome to the SEO, AI, GEO, AEO news, whatever you want to call it, for week 17. So that was last week. I've gathered all the good stuff for you, so you don't have to, and I'll go through it top level. Of course, in the video description, you have all the summaries plus links to the articles so you can read up and be the best possible consultant or SEO person ever. Yeah, you're welcome. Let's jump right in. So the first one here is from Lily Ray, who gave a presentation about the helpful content update, but that was 2.5 years ago. I'm going to quote her here. The patterns I'm seeing right now in SEO look and feel exactly like they were in 2002, 23, before Google rolled out one of the biggest algorithm updates in history. So what she's basically saying is the whole trying to win an AI search, AI spamming content, all these kind of strategies, Google is kind of coming back and punishing them. That's what she's seeing, at least. So I think it's really important, and I'm happy I have not been telling people to jump on that wave. And SEO is very much a long-term, healthy strategy, I would say, right? It's why it's so weird. You combine it with so many other aspects of a company, branding, even events, marketing, paid marketing, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I think this is a great share from her. Let's jump to the next one here. Really good AEO research. So this one is pretty interesting. So just the highlights here. The position is important when doing an actual web search, like ChatGPT does that a lot now. That makes sense. First position, 58% of instances. The other one here is the headings were a huge indicator. So if the headings were matching exactly the query fanouts, that was an indicator. Now again, does that mean we should just create content and then just match these headings? Well, if the headings make sense to the fan out query, but some of these fan out queries doesn't really make sense, I think, to add as a heading in your content. Some of them does. So, with a grain of salt, don't just over spam this. And again, if it becomes a spammy technique, AI will try and revert back to, some other factor. So again, just be careful, but just very interesting insight. So read that study as well. This one I'll show here. It's pretty interesting. So Danny Sullivan illustrating two types of content. I haven't really heard this before. Commodity versus non-commodity content, and Google prefers the non-commodity. So the example for commodity would be top 10 things to consider when buying running shoes. Non-commodity, why this customer's shoes collapsed after 400 miles, a wear pattern analysis. So very different types of content. Now, will it bring a lot of search? Maybe not, but there is a lot of shareability in the non-commodity versus the commodity could be things like, sounds more like a top 10 guide, which again can still work. But I think having both is quite good, and it seems like, according to Cyrus, Google prefers the latter, which is the non-commodity one. But just an interesting example here. I like this. But you can see here, non-commodity content doesn't rank. But he says it will be forgotten on your website. That's not necessarily true. I mean, it's quite shareable. Anyway, I like the differentiation there. Aleda Solis says the technical SEO audit needs a new layer. She's completely right. Now, again, when it comes to like an SEO audit checklist, back when I was in agency, we just kept adding things to it to make it flexible. Like there's no, hey, use this for the next 3 years. That just doesn't work. But I just like what she's coming here with some AI-specific robot.txt rules, AI crawlers, can they access your site? Also the rendering of JavaScript, since they don't render, like those are big things. Like I see some websites, all the content is rendered with JavaScript. Complete schema markup, go beyond what Google thinks is good. Like I've tested these in schema.org and I get some warnings. Doesn't matter. The warning, as long as the rest is good, you can still keep adding things. So, as long as it's well structured and passes for a script or JSON. And then the content placement here, I like this. Optimized content placement, top 30% of pages yields more AI citations. So the whole idea of, answering your main query in the beginning, and then the top 30% gets more citations is where you should put your, value. But don't, in the middle of your content, don't bury like a main insight. But again, it depends. So are we supposed to then answer very specific questions with content? I think that's helpful. And before AI, I recommended answering the main intent in the beginning and then go further down and, get more detailed. I think that makes sense for the reader as well. So it's not just AI. Here's a good one here. Google Documents, read more snippet links, best practice. So if you know the remember the read more deep links in the search result snippets. So now there's some guidance on that. So yeah, have a look at that as well. And this one is big. So we've got these two here. We've got Google adds a new task-based search feature. I mean, basically what's happening here is Google is trying to, use agents to do things for the user. For example, checking hotel prices for different hotels in a city constantly, and then until a price comes up that you're comfortable with, that could be a task, right? You can see here, agentic calling in AI mode. So it can, for example, call nearby stores to check stock availability for the last minute needs. The fact that it can call stores seems a bit weird. I mean, that's crazy. Like, imagine just calling all your local stores until one of them says, yeah, I've got it. That is crazy. I mean, how much must this cost, Google? And it's free. So I know you want us to stay in Google. Google. I know you want us to stay there, but I mean, these agents doing all this stuff, it can't be cheap. But again, I like this. I still think some of these are quite good, and some industries will have to change a lot and some won't. But I know, like traveling, it seems like Google is targeting traveling here a lot, and shopping, of course. So those are the big ones. These task-based features are crazy, and you can see Google also released the Google Agent, and here's what you need to know. Now, again, I've got all the insights here, but I'm not going to go into detail. But there's a published IP range. So again, we don't want to block these because we want agents to crawl our site. Some industries you might not want to, but if your booking site, hotel site, local bookings, like a local hairdresser kind of website, yeah, you might want to have these. You might want to make sure Google Agent can access your site. That's pretty important. So again, I skipped one article here, but from advanced rip ranking, this one is really, really interesting. It talks about branded SEO, which I feel we don't mention a lot, but we still can we should be managing our branded keywords. Just because we rank number one for all our branded keywords doesn't mean that, imagine I'm searching for something branded and very specific. Well, we can rank well, but is there a better page I could create that would, give better intent? And here is the real kicker. In Google, you'll still rank for those queries. It'll just be a page that might not serve the purpose well enough, and then users have to navigate. So that's already a bad brand perception. But then AI might go somewhere else for that information completely with those query fanouts. It might not even, you might not rank for those. So that's really why you want to look into branded SEO as well these days. And I think this was a great article. It's quite advanced, very good stuff here. Who wrote it? Yeah, Gianluca Fiorelli. So again, love that guy. He's really, really good. This is a great article, basically. And he's talking about long last clicks and all these other types of what do you call it? All these other types of signals, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, just really, really good stuff. You can see here, going back to content like H1 and key takeaways is where you're getting that 100% visibility from AI at least. So again, answering your main intent or question in the beginning, have some key takeaways in the beginning, and then go into detail seems to be the way to go here for AI. And it makes sense for readers as well. So And let's keep going here. Yes, a really good guide from the Zippy here on how to survive Google's zero-click futures. Let me show you, because if you could actually work, that would be great. There we are. So again, from Cyrus Shepard, great follow and read. And here again, I like the types of content to survive the Google Zero, basically. So really, really good article as well. And where were we? Oh yeah, Google has basically said you can do a lot of SEO that won't work and it's still okay and still do okay. Yeah, I guess that's true. And I think a lot of SEOs have been doing this for a long time. We know a lot of things just don't work, so we run tests. That's what you should be doing. You should have a testing framework when you do SEO. Definitely A/B testing, or just testing. Hey, does this work on these pages, et cetera, et cetera. So that makes sense. And then Aleda Solis also published a really good article on how to measure AI presence. Again, not going too much detail here, but I like the layers here. With the first one is presence, readiness, and business impact. Some of these are harder. I think the presence, again, AI tracking is nascent as an industry, and I know a lot of them don't have access to large clickstream data sets, so you can't really tell what's really going on. But you can prompt track, and I think if you set up good prompts, you should be fine. But large SaaS companies or with different products might have a hard time. because prompt tracking is expensive and you don't want to pay. Are we talking, you know, for 200-300, it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month. So it's pretty pricey, I feel. But then the readiness part, as well as more technical, and then the business impact, I think is hard. Like you might have to do causal impact studies. But again, very, very good framework she's done. She's one of the best. So, I would bookmark this bad boy. And then finally, before we end this video, Google click-through rates seems to be improving, at least for organic results with AI overviews. So again, AI overviews is introduced. It answered the question. People have less incentive to click on your content to get the answer. Now, it seems like it's doing better. So there was this low, and now we see CTRs improving a little bit. The real question is why? Now, I have two theories. One of them is, actually more than two theories, but I think it's an important topic here. Are people tired of AI answers? Do they mistrust them? That's one. The other one is Google working on better attribution. So people are in the AI overviews are more incited to click on certain sources, et cetera, because we don't really know the CTR. We can't split CTR from AI overviews rankings and non-AI overviews rankings, the rankings being the sources. And if I remember correctly in Search Console, they're all just position 1. So it's really confusing that so many, like if there's 14 sources for an AI overview answer, or 10 or 7, they're all ranking number 1. And so by giving us better attribution, like showcasing the sources, having those links, maybe some pop-ups, more people willing to click. And that might be the reason why. Or it could just, again, be, I think those are the two main theories. So not really sure here, but I think it's interesting and it's good. It's positive, supposedly. The question is also, what was it before AI reviews came? So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, a lot of people are following this, of course. So this is a great data set. And I think that's a positive change we're seeing. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribes. I publish these every week when I can, or bi-weekly, depending. Links to all these lovely articles are in the description, so you can just go in and figure out which ones you want to read and get up to date with. Otherwise, have a great week, and I will see all of you on the other side next week.